like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to Diorpop. Have you ever noticed how the moments that stay with us the longest are almost never the loud ones? Not the moments announced ahead of time. Not the ones framed carefully for an audience. Not the ones meant to be seen. But the quiet ones. The moments that pass softly, until they settle somewhere deep in your chest, and refuse to let go. At Diorpop, we don't chase noise. We listen to what lingers between words. We stay with the pauses, the glances, the shared silences, the kind that speak in a language only the heart understands. Tonight, we're not here for headlines. We're here for the details that don't ask to be noticed. The choices made gently. The presence that doesn't demand attention, yet somehow changes everything. So take a breath, slow down, and step with us into a moment that wasn't meant to be loud, but was always meant to be felt. Some moments don't arrive with sound. No press release. No flashing cameras. No carefully chosen words. They happen quietly, almost as if they're meant only for the people living them. And yet, those are the moments that linger the longest. Today was one of those moments. While the world was busy scrolling, speculating, and drawing conclusions from fragments, Jungkook made a choice so simple it nearly went unnoticed. Nearly. He went quietly. He went without announcement. And he went with Jimin. Together, they attended Mingyu and Jikook's concert today, not as names, not as symbols, not as spectacle, but simply as themselves. No grand entrance. No deliberate attention. Just two people stepping into a space where music was meant to be felt, not recorded. What makes this moment tender isn't the concert itself. It's how they chose to be there. And who they chose to share it with. Jungkook didn't post. He didn't hint. He didn't leave traces for the world to follow. Instead, he moved quietly, almost protectively, as if the moment mattered more than the reaction it could create. And beside him, without effort or explanation, was Jimin. There is something deeply intimate about the way Jungkook and Jimin exist together when no one is watching. When the lights belong to someone else. When the expectations fall away. They don't perform closeness. They don't exaggerate it. They don't explain it. They simply move together. Attending Mingyu and Jikook's concert wasn't about being seen as supportive friends. It was about presence. About choosing sincerity over visibility. About letting the moment remain untouched. Jungkook has always been someone who feels deeply but speaks selectively. And when he chooses quiet over noise, it's often because the moment is personal. And Jimin has always known how to meet those moments without words. There's a softness in how they share space, especially when they're not the center of attention. Jungkook's instinct to observe, to absorb, to stay grounded. Jimin's intuition, always attuned to what Jungkook needs without being told. Together, they balance each other with an ease that doesn't ask to be noticed. While the stage lights illuminated Mingyu and Jikook's, somewhere in the crowd, or just beyond it, Jungkook and Jimin stood not as stars, but as witnesses. Friends, first. Artists, second. Idols, not at all. And that distinction matters. Because when Jungkook chooses to show up quietly, it tells us this isn't about obligation. It's about connection, respect, shared history. And when Jimin is beside him, it adds something softer, something rooted in trust. This wasn't a declaration. It wasn't curated. It was a choice. A choice to go together. A choice to stay unseen. A choice to share an experience without asking the world to validate it. In an industry where visibility is everything, chosen invisibility is powerful. It reminds us that some bonds don't need proof. Some relationships don't need explanation. Some moments are meant to be lived, not archived. Fans realized only afterward. A quiet confirmation. A whisper passing through timelines. And suddenly it became clear. Jungkook went. Jimin went with him. And they did it quietly. No chaos. No spectacle. Just presence. It's easy to forget that beneath the schedules and stages, They are still people who love music, who want to stand in a crowd and feel sound move through their chest, who want to support friends without making it about themselves. Maybe that's why this moment feels so tender, because it wasn't meant for us. It wasn't crafted to trend. It wasn't designed to be dissected. It simply happened. Jungkook, who carries the weight of being watched, chose stillness. Jimin, who understands him without needing explanations, chose to stay beside him. And in that quiet decision they reminded us. Not everything meaningful is loud. Not everything precious is visible. And not every connection needs a spotlight to be real. Some moments are powerful precisely because they're whispered. And today, somewhere between music meant for someone else, soft lights, and shared smiles, Jungkook and Jimin shared one of those moments. That's why it lingers long after the concert ended. Because silence, when chosen together, speaks volumes. As the music filled the venue, Jungkook wasn't there as a role or a title. He was simply someone who loved music enough to disappear into it, letting someone else shine. And Jimin stayed close, not out of necessity, but because it felt right. A glance, a small lean, a shared smile when a song landed just right. The kind of closeness that doesn't interrupt a moment. It lives gently inside it. While Mingyu and S.Kuz poured themselves into the stage, Jungkook and Jimin absorbed every note as artists who understood the weight behind the performance. And maybe that's why they came quietly. Because artists recognize one another best when the noise fades. There is something deeply human about showing up without announcing it. About standing just outside the frame and letting the moment belong to someone else. Jungkook protects what matters by keeping it close. Jimin understands that instinct without question. So they went together. Not to be seen, but to be there. In a room filled with music, they shared something even softer, comfort, ease. The certainty that nothing needed to be said. No choreography. No cameras. No expectations. Just two people who have walked through intensity side by side, choosing simplicity. And in those unscripted choices, the truth reveals itself. When Jungkook steps back, Jimin doesn't pull him forward. He stays with him. When the world demands visibility, they choose privacy. When everything could become content, they allow it to remain a memory. That says more than any statement ever could. Some moments belong only to the people living them. And today, under lights meant for someone else, Jungkook and Jimin shared a moment that didn't ask for permission, validation, or understanding. It existed whether we noticed or not. And now that we have, it stays with us not because it was loud, but because it was real. Quietly. Intentionally. Together. Whiteheart.